ASL Season 2. Premier League, Round of 16.
Once more on merry-go-round, and spawning in the bottom spawn in yellow from Team Ascension is a player you all know and love. We have
and his opponent
Armadawn.
in the very feminine thing. It is a very endangered species from Team Nya. It is
PandaPrime.
I can never say that name and take it seriously.
I have to look up, between games, I want to look up what the hell that stands for. Do you know?
Yeah. You never remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to explain, as there does seem to be a little bit of confusion in the chat, so I'm going to break it down into real simple words. PandaPrime did not have to play the first series of the night. PandaPrime gets straight through to the winner's bracket because Sanguine is having internet connection problems due to a storm in his hometown. And that means that Panda just goes through. Sanguine is moved into the lower bracket, is not disqualified, he's done nothing wrong, these are circumstances outside of his control. But unfortunately, does leave him at a slight disadvantage because the show must go on and we cannot wait forever. So that's the reason for any of the stuff that's been going on, and I hope that's cleared up for any of you who weren't quite following the events.
Indeed, so hopefully he can get back prior to the end of this series, but which may take a while because it is a TBT, and that can be interesting, or it can be quick or not. Yeah, exactly. So we got PandaPrime going right away for the factory. He's actually adding on a second gas compared to his opponent Armadawn. That is just one racks expanding here, and this dangerously low SCV getting chased away. And no add-on actually yet for... I don't know what's happening. So the barracks is going... Oh, okay, it's going over here. So it's going to be Cloak Banshee. And he's going to try and hide that off in the corner.
Well, I'm glad that my bet for the previous round was cancelled out. Someone has challenged me to bet. Yeah, Kangaroo in the chat has challenged me to a bet. So I'll give, I believe, her the chance to decide on what the bet will be. It can't be the Cloak Banshee thing because we know that that's coming.
Yes, exactly. I think a good bet will be, I don't know, what about betting on whether or not Armadawn will have a turret up by the time the Cloak Banshee gets there?
That's a cool bet. I like that one. I'm not sure that it's going to be the case either with this stuff coming down.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, so
it's
far
a late
he
stuff
does not know about it. Yeah. Yeah, he will not know about it, and obviously no engineering bay is on the way for him, and he's unaware at this point as Cloak does begin and the Banshee begins. But still no expansion. He's got 4 Marines down at the ramp to try and prevent his opponent from coming up and actually getting that information, which would tip him off that something is coming at least, and he could probably figure it out from there, what it may be.
Yeah, it is. It's a smart denial.
Yeah,
but
a Viking is coming out though, so this will be quite beneficial for him. So all he needs is a good scan or something, and he'll be able to hold it off. But yeah, first Banshee coming across, Marines, Marauder, and the Hellion pushing onto the middle.
It's going to be difficult to make really a lot work for Panda with just this ground force.
Yeah.
Kangaroo, I'll take that for 5. And yeah, PandaPrime. He's going to have to push up this ramp, and he's going to run into this superior, well, theoretically superior army of Armadawn, and really struggle to do very much with it. But the Banshees are what's going to be the make or break factor in this engagement. If they are attacking round the back, if they're sneaking into mineral lines, and we don't necessarily see the reaction, but that's not what's happening. They're not there yet. This whole force is going to get chased down and killed, or not. or the Hellions are going to pull back at the sight of a single
one
Marauder.
Banshee coming in. It's not cloaking. It's just running directly over Marines, and that's not the plan. There does cloak and starts going after these SCVs. A second scan goes off, trying to take this Banshee out, but I think he's going to get out of scan range again, and that's 2 scans blown without a single Banshee dying. And PandaPrime looking in a commanding position here early in this game. Although even with all these kills, he's actually only got like 5 worker advantage.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, having killed the stuff off, it is good. No, it's gone up now. There we go, up to 30 to 21, having killed off a huge number of workers there. A total of 14 killed for our pink Terran over in the northeast.
Yeah, and he does have his second command center planted behind all of that, and is already working on STEM. And it looks like he's actually even going to continue to make a Banshee here, which will now be just rallied to the front. He changed it. I don't know where he's going. There is, of course, the Raven out now and everything, so Cloak isn't going to help you too much.
No, a lot of good Terrans do open Viking Raven or Raven Viking for that exact reason, as a counter to Cloak Banshee, because obviously those units, the Banshees, cannot shoot the air stuff. It's just not in their nature. It's not how they roll.
No, it's not how they roll. That was literally exactly what I was going to say. And he will pick off a couple of the Hellions there. There's a couple of them really, really low. That could go down easily. The Viking coming in, he does cloak, and the Raven is actually lagging a little bit behind, so you can't actually see it at this point. But then he just stops randomly, so that's not good.
I was thinking, the Viking might just sail past, but no.
Now he is. Now
What's happening?
I don't know, and he might even get. I mean, this Banshee is dead to rights dead, but he will maybe add a couple kills. Literally doesn't. He spread out his fire.
Yeah.
So he is taken down.
That was nice. That was really nice. Just shooting, scanning, and picking it up.
At least it cost another scan. That's still something. I was going to say he didn't kill a mule, but he stopped a mule from being a mule.
Yeah, and Panda is going to move into the mid game looking pretty dominant, even though the opening was less economic. The damage dealt by those Banshees was more than enough to assure PandaPrime a safe entrance into the mid game. But it does have to be said that the army value of Armadawn is huge compared to that of Panda. These tanks are going to be instrumental in keeping Panda alive.
That really is it. The army value is huge, but it's like 16 Hellions, and these 16 Hellions will survive precisely like 2 volleys against these tanks up here, so they can't really be aggressive or get anything done at this point in the game. If they become Hellbats or something later on, or there's more bases later on, they can play a role, but right now they're just kind of paperweights, very mobile paperweights. 2 Banshees are coming back into the main base, so there's still no turrets up in that area. The Viking a bit out of position, and there is actually still just only the one Viking, so it takes a while to get through these things, and he can just kind of get kills in the meantime.
He actually sees the army composition of his opponent at this point as well, and he goes, "That's a unusually large number."
It's a very weird composition that he's got there. But the Banshee's still just kind of darting around. I'm not sure how I feel about him actually going after the army here, as opposed to trying to just go in the mineral line. Like, he would eventually get killed, but he would get so many SCVs killed, and I think that's probably better than the Hellions. But this is good too.
This is so good. Just chipping away at the army that could be attacking. And where's this going to go for Armadawn? If he tries to shove up this ramp, the tanks are going to have they're going to have an early Christmas present delivered to them on a plate.
Yeah, and I like this. The Banshee just turned around. So he had the detection there, and they just kind of juked it, went back the other way. And
they're going to run back in. There is a Hellion drop on its way into the main base now. Armadawn attempting to attack where his opponent is weakest. It's a very, very smart play from him, but this could actually be extremely effective with the blue flame coming out now.
Pulling the
workers.
lineup here.
This is exactly what he wants.
but at the same time, these Banshees are doing equal damage. So you can see on the side there, or at least 14 SCVs have been killed by the Banshees, and 11 SCVs have been killed by the Hellions. It's just kind of mutually assured destruction there for a bit.
So far, a total of 36 workers killed by Panda, and then the number is going up all the time.
There's nothing even considering stopping these Banshees. Like a Viking out, they will just cloak. Raven is back, but it's still going to take him so long to get through. Hunter Seeker going off on one Banshee. He should split it out. Oh, he actually just outranges it.
I wanted him to fly it over the SCP line and just let it go off.
Let it explode.
Didn't happen, unfortunately. But that was the second to last SCV.
There's one left, 2 left now. You rebuilt
this
one.
is a good attack, though, running up into the ramp, dropping Hellbats on the tanks, but I'm still not sure it's going to be enough with the Marauder count as it is. So many tanks still left.
Still bunkers up, even.
There are still bunkers left. The Marauders are absorbing damage as best as they can, and the Hellbats force game of the series. And our Yellow Terran spawning in the bottom left, down 0-1, putting him only 1 game away from being knocked into the losers bracket. Yeah. Oh yeah.
For the consolation, I guess, now.
From Team Ascension, we have
Armadawn.
And up here on the top right-hand side of the map, who I did forget to check what this stood for, the pink Terran player from Team Nya. I hope it's something like the Knights who say Nya, or something like that. It is
PandaPrime.
I'm afraid I looked it up, and his team is nothing like that. It is Team Meepsy Go.
Meepsy Go?
Meepsy Go.
Oh, doesn't make any sense.
I don't have a clue what it means.
Doesn't make a lick of sense. He doesn't even have like a team like decal or logo. Everybody has one of those. He doesn't have like one of those spinny things.
Yeah.
We got the nice one by Team Ascension. His is just blank. There's no spinniness. The hell's with that?
I just don't know. I can't make head nor tail of it.
Yeah, ridiculous. So this Marine will catch up to the SCV here and shoot it. It will die. Same sort of thing on the other side here. Factory yet again for PandaPrime. It is in about the same place as the last one was, and the refinery going down here as well. The SCV is zoned down out.
Interestingly, though, even though that SCV did get a pretty reasonable scout off and should have a good idea what's going on in the build order of PandaPrime, he didn't actually see the factory or the second gas go down.
Right. Yeah, he waited literally just until it was out of vision to put both those buildings down, knowing that the Marine would actually
see the second gas, my bad.
Did you saw the gas? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he did just catch that.
So reactor down on the barracks and see if this is a swap out with the factory. Nope, tech lab. But no starport actually starting this time, so it may just be straight into tank for that.
Could be. I think straight into tank would be quite an interesting one to go for.
Indeed.
Certainly just like off one base.
Yeah.
Because you could do it a little bit... Wait, it's not off one base. There's the command center.
Yeah,
it all fits into place.
Yep. And we've just got 3 racks out by Armadawn on his side of things, and he is getting an engineering bay this time around. With his second CC already finished and starting to mine in that location.
Yeah. I'm wondering where this is gonna end up going. Armadawn's gone for a 3 barracks opening, and that's quite... It's not unusual per se in TVT. It's fairly common, but it's not, I think, the right opening to be going for against a Marine tank style at all. With a tank out, Marines are going to push in and they're going to get blown to pieces.
Yeah, he does scan here now and is able to see. Oh, that's interesting. He saw the tank, saw the tech lab on it, and saw a starport building. And then as soon as the scan expired, he just canceled the starport. Not entirely sure why. It's still good to have a starport. But Marines will be poking up here now. There is a bunker in place. There's already the one tank in place. So that's not going to get damage done, but may take a hit or two. He's actually just flirting right around the edge of it.
He's being a tease. He's trying to tempt out some shots and lose some hit points. I don't know why you would do that, but it's all part of his plan, I'm sure. Armadawn knows what he's doing. He's a smart kind of guy. He's actually building a supply depot out towards the east of the map to scout for potential drops, which I really like, just as kind of an option.
Yeah, it is nice to try and do that. Looks, he's hiding that SCV behind the gold as well, maybe. Something similar there to try and cut off various paths, but with 2 tanks out on the map, a third coming, PandaPrime looks pretty unassailable at the moment, and despite an engineering bay down early, no upgrades are actually starting for the buyer of Armadawn either. Just going to catch these 2 Marines, or at least one of them, as he kind of pokes around to see what's going on, and he's going to see a purely Marine force, which I think he's got to be happy with, knowing what his own decisions have been. And he's actually taken this opportunity to just move out. A handful of 5 SCVs, 3 tanks, and a kind of half the number of Marines. If he gets into a good scan position, or a good siege position, that could work out.
He's going to be basically unopposed in doing so. I love this low ground tank position.
I love that
but
position.
It is a bit excellent. Of a risk.
Yeah.
No, I think he's got away with it, though. That low ground tank just outside of range and has now secured the foothold for the previous ones to move forwards. I think if Panda moves in too far, we could see most of this force getting cleaned up, but all the time he's establishing this forward foothold again and again with nearly the same number of Marines, and the SCVs are coming off the line. So many of those being picked off by the Marines.
Yeah, Marines now coming in directly against the tanks here, but so much damage. Even when he cleans that up, oh my god, that is so much damage taken by Armadawn. He will eventually clean this all out, but 10 SCVs killed in that, compared to only the 5 SCVs, obviously, that PandaPrime just brought with him. And a lot more Marines, of course, died on Armadawn's side. He's down to only these 5 when he was in the dozens.
It did rather serve to equalize the SCV counts, but didn't really swing it one way or the other. So really, that I wouldn't go so far as to say that was a failed attack at all, but it was it perhaps wasn't the most critical attack. And losing tanks when you're going Marine tanks is very, very serious of a loss compared to a player who isn't going tanks. However, Armadawn now just beginning to establish his own factory with this tech lab means that he's going to try and get some of his own up. And because that slightly belated timing on that, he's still actually going to be at the tank deficit, although it is marginal and could be perhaps a little bit better in favor of PandaPrime.
Yeah, definitely both players currently in the process of building their 3rd command center, so though PandaPrime a little bit ahead in that effort. One thing that PandaPrime does not have is engineering bay out or anything. Also no armory to continue.
Oh, he's building a third base as well as a 3rd command center.
Yes, he is.
That's brave.
Yeah, it is a little bit. These Marines going to come out and see this group coming across. Scan going down to check the exact composition, and the counter scan to see position of these tanks. I think one of them will move up to the high ground here and guard against potential drops with a better position. Yep,
very smart. I love the Marauder and the tank included as well. The Marauder is to deal with tanks that are dropped, and just the tank a little bit more damage. And the tank itself is, of course, to splash on everything that isn't a tank.
One of the coolest things Armadawn is doing, and we pointed out the first one, but there's now like 5 magic supply depots just spread completely around the map that are going to spot for anything. He's coming into
using his supply depots like overlords.
Yeah, basically. He's going to go right after this, going to force a cancel on that 3rd base.
If
And,
only PandaPrime had spread his depots around like overlords,
Exactly.
then he would have known it was coming.
he wouldn't
That
have known.
said,
Yeah.
that the loss of that third base could be something of a decoy, in that it looks like he's just lost his only third, but PandaPrime's got 2 thirds, so he doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. It is already done. He could just sneak down into the either the other position directly below him, or just float over and take that one again. He's not actually moving with it just yet.
No.
But yeah, it could definitely be a bit of a red herring to his opponent to think that he's further ahead than he is, knowing that his own third has completed and he is floating to the more central position there. But Armadawn very, very far ahead in terms of supply. His upgrades are currently at 1-1 compared to 0-0 for his opponent on both the mech and the bio. 2 dropships will go out and will almost inevitably be spotted by these supply depots as they try and swing in, going into the Bermuda Triangle of supply depots here.
He actually gets past the first.
Yeah.
Where's the second?
That one's going to see
seen it.
Yeah.
There you go. But the risk, of course, with these depots is that if PandaPrime's paying attention, he can just drop the depots and then he instantly gets 100 minerals for his buck.
Yeah, he is trying to boost in here now. This is absolutely ringed with turrets. He's got the sensor tower there. Just going to straight up lose one of the medevacs, and he's already far enough behind that he can't really afford to be doing that.
No. He has lost a fair bit in not really taking the fast third.
Well,
That's not where you want to be.
Go.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
No. Shut down hard, leaving PandaPrime with only 2 medevacs out on the field. And the Marine tank it was looking strong, but over time, Armadawn's caught up in the tank lead. Now on 5 tanks for Panda to 4 of his opponent. And this is really the first attack, which looked so promising, counting against him. It could still all come down to the engagement, but Armadawn's army is just stronger. So Panda's going to need the engagement to end all engagements for this to work out in his favor. And right now,
that's everything here on siege.
Here it is. This is it.
So much better. Both sieging up. He'll get right on
Such a good concave out of Armadawn. The whole army's gone down.
Yeah, just absolutely crushing through here. He just had an advantage in almost every sense positionally, upgrade-wise. His 2-2 is now finishing with his opponent at 0-0, and he will kill the real third command center.
Well, it's okay because the fake third command center is actually built
going back
third,
up.
so
It's the SCV that he left alive over there. He could have killed it. He started to hurt it, and he left it alive.
He's been planning this all along. He's like, well, he'll kill the first one, I'll have the backup, and then he'll kill that one, so I'll have the backup to back myself up in case I lose the backup to the backup. But as it turns out, he's now going to lose the backup command center as these Marines stim in with their 2-2, bursting it down. And PandaPrime has run out of safety nets onto which to fall.
Yeah, just very close to mining out his main base. Only about 100 left on each of these mineral patches, and trying to catch back up in the tank count. But he's only at 1-1 on his bio. His opponent's at 2-2. His opponent actually now with mech upgrades plus 1 attack on the tanks themselves. And this is a very, very steep uphill battle, given that he's 2 bases behind as well.
He's going to really struggle. Right now, there is a huge force of Armadawn attempting to chase a tiny little attack from PandaPrime all the way across the map. And these 2 Marines and 1 Marauder, they're sprinting as hard as they can.
Yeah.
They're heroes. 1 SCV goes down, 2 SCV goes down, and attack in the middle of the map is completely thwarted by Armadawn. But the real heroes are these guys down towards the third, who've now taken out between 2 and no, it's just 2 SCVs, and now trying to focus down a command center before being cleaned up.
Excellent.
It's just not been enough.
Yeah, no. And PandaPrime's gotta realize there. Basically, his main force just lost to half the main force of Armadawn. So that's not encouraging. He is trying to remake that third base over there, and he's also trying to throw down the fourth, but that's going to get instantly spotted by Secret Depot.
They have been so good this game.
Yeah.
I've never seen Terrans
right.
really do this.
I've
before.
seen 1 or 2. I've never seen 8 of them.
Lovely Widow Mine hit there. Yeah.
It's just coming in.
It just isn't going to matter.
Just charging. He's just got so much. It's a bad attack, but it doesn't matter.
It is. It's not an effective attack, but it's doing exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like
End the game.
Sides, you can kind of swing a little wider, and it opens up closer option to go for the island basis if they do choose to do that. But we'll see. And yeah, I don't know what style either player will break out. We saw obviously 2 very different, I guess, compositions out of PandaPrime because he didn't go for Banshees, of course. And also 2 very different compositions from Armadawn, who did that mass Hellion thing in game number 1, and then switched more into bio tank.
The players have shown that they're able to do a pretty diverse kind of set of things, and at this point, I wouldn't want to predict what the either one of them is going to bring out. I think the last time I saw a game on Waystation, it was Genesis versus. So we could have sailed seamlessly past that, but the last time we saw a game on Waystation.
So who are they?
All right.
There's up here. There's
the
a
voice
yellow
of God has spoken passive aggressively in our ears.
Yeah, on the top right, there's a yellow one. His name is
Armadawn.
And across the map from him, from Meepsy Go, that pink dude.
PandaPrime.
So that added a lot to the game to do that. To stop to do it. I knew we were skipping it. I didn't care anymore.
Yeah, just chilling.
So both players are actually going for expansions here. 3 Marines are running off to some position. And Armadawn again opening with that 3 barracks opening, and just now taking a gas. His opponent once again barracks factory. That's his opening.
In theory, a more tech-heavy opening should be favourable in a TVT, but opening with these 3 barracks actually is Banshee safe, I think, and that's the reason why we're seeing it, because it doesn't grant you that fast detection, but if you just have the Marines in the mineral lines, you can basically, as a Terran often does against Oracles, just put them in a place where you feel safe and go, oh, you're coming at me, I will drive you away.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can compensate and catch up later. It's by going without the tech, you don't have to mine the gas as soon or at all for a while. So you're going to have the minerals to be able to make these things, and then later on, you can just throw down 4 gases if you need to catch up on the count, something like that. But he is adding on the tech lab and the reactor to 2 of these barracks. While his opponent, once again, tech lab on a factory and a starport slightly off to the corner. But I don't think it's far enough away. I don't think he's going to swap them out.
Sorry, I was just laughing.
The
chat is attempting to bet. Mr. Breadman in the chat is attempting to bet me that at least 1 Terran will make it through to the round of 16. I'm not going to though, because there's no suspense in it.
That's horrible. Armadawn is once again doing this neat little thing of putting down supply depots in various locations. It served him well in the last game, so he may as well kind of stick with it.
It's very smart, but much harder to actually execute on this map simply because there's a lot more airspace. There's no airspace really on Overgrowth. Whereas on this map, loads of it. So it's very difficult to make it work in quite the same way as we've seen before. PandaPrime has gone for a fairly... Well, it's an a more unusual opening. I was wondering, before we got distracted by chat bet, was whether...
Okay, we're about to see it. So you finish your thought and then I'll talk about it. Go.
Okay, go on. Okay.
No, I was just going to say that we're about to see the coolest thing ever, which
Yeah,
is that...
oh my god, I've just seen what it is. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Dude, that's so cool. I was going to say that I thought we were going to see either a starport put on that tech lab and used for the Banshee, or the tanks coming out, and it's pretty fast, but it's that's really not important compared to what we're seeing right now, which is double proxy starport on the island base.
Island behind his base. He literally had to make a starport so that he could proxy these two starports. But I like this, kind of clever. He's going to put the tech lab down on the starport in his main base so that he can start the cloak there a lot quicker, and then these guys will get theirs out, and basically their first two Banshees will be out, and cloak should already be well underway. So he'll basically be hitting with like 5-6 Banshees if he just gets them all out. Oh, he's making a third one?
Another one. I don't even care if he wins,
No,
but I hope he does.
I hope he does too. I almost can't. I won't lie. I almost can't see how he could. But it is such a surprise. But it's a very expensive surprise that he is going for here.
You see a fusion core going down.
This is neat. One of them, his one at home, is making a Viking next, which is kind of neat. So if there is something like a Raven out, anything like that, there's a lot of Marines, and there are actually already turrets in the Mineral Alliance. But if you get like 5 Banshees, they'll still just blast down the turret.
I tell you something, these proxy supply depots aren't going to be catching any of those.
Yeah, they didn't. He built on the wrong side first. It's funny, he's got one exactly where the medevac went over.
I know.
So I know he's now thinking like, oh, I put the supply depot there. There's no way that somebody proxied 3 starports behind my base.
Who would do that?
No, nobody would do that. So, yeah, Banshee's just kind of loading up here. Cloak is just about finished, and he's going to get a few before he reveals this, at least getting 4 Banshees out before coming in for the attack. He's trying to make a 5th one, but he's actually supply blocked here. And just clearing that up. The one at home not making more. He made a single Viking out of it, which is interesting. But even with only 2 tanks at home, he is even greedily going for a 3rd command center. 2 tanks, 2 bunkers. This totally Marine force is moving out across the map. And they do have combat shields and +1 attack, but no upgrade to the armor yet. And they're going to be obviously completely out of place when these Banshees get shown.
They're going to have stim as well, so they're going to be able to burst straight in, target down the bunkers as fast as possible, and probably not take that many hits from the tanks, all in all.
Yeah, so, if you wait long, like a 3rd tank is come, and so on. And obviously this is going to hit him. I'm a little surprised that Panda has not attacked yet.
No, he's waiting. He wants this to be the surprise.
The optimal number of Banshees is 8.
Of course it is. This is the classic 13 and a bit minutes. It's not 13 and a bit minutes, but he'll attack at 13 and a bit minutes. I can feel it, because that's the right time to attack with your 9th Banshee that you've produced on your opponent's island 3rd.
So we'll get a 3rd tank in place, and obviously the more of these do pile up. He's got a crazy spread out here, Armadawn does, but I'm hoping he's not thinking, I'll just contain him or something. Obviously, PandaPrime scanning that, now aware of what does lie outside his main base, and he's going to move in.
Comes 13 minutes, 10 seconds, 9 Banshee hit squad. Coming in. His opponent.
Going right after the starport, which I kind of like there. Armadawn,
what are you gonna do?
So the most confused person that has ever been.
What are you gonna do,
Armadawn? On this turret, not enough. Scan going off, but there's not enough here to take things out. Tanks just immediately falling as soon as they pop out. The whole army is just sprinting back to try and see what they could do, but there's so much damage happening, and he's still got the ability to cloak.
This is the best TVT in the world. 3 Banshees of these hit squad have gone down now, but not before taking out a significant number of SCVs.
After the engineering bay.
No, actually, I don't think he's got that many SCVs. Where'd they go?
No,
They went to the
he got
natural.
hardly any actual SCVs. He favored the targeting of the structures, getting the starport so there could be no Raven, things like that.
This is so funny. He's trying to snipe on add-ons and he's playing StarCraft Master by dancing in and out. Technically, with perfect micro, PandaPrime should be absolutely fine, but Stim does make it very difficult for him.
Oh, he's going to drop onto the island knowing that is exactly where they came from. Which is insecure, but now the SCV or the SCVs are going down to this mass Banshee, which doesn't even make any sense. He's even sieged up now at the bottom of the ramp. These Marines can't come in.
What's happening in this game?
Scan going off. I think that is his last scan. No, he does have one more. He's got 3
PandaPrime's got 70 SCVs to his opponent's 44. He's now fighting with tanks against SCVs and winning. All the Banshees have been picked off as of the proxy starports, but with the splitting up of the forces.
Alright, all these starports behind on the island did get cleaned up. He is like you said, he's got 70-something SCVs. He only has 2 bases taken, but he is going to float the third one down.
I don't know why he's floating the third to a place that isn't his own island base.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like you just killed the starport that he had, and you know that obviously he's got to just all in you or something now. There's bunkers here, but there actually has not been really much tank production or any tank production behind this. One is underway, but it is nowhere near complete. And there's not a lot of defense for PandaPrime, and he will stim in and just go right after the bunkers, but they're empty.
Mass Marine
SCVs,
is pretty good.
Oh, this SCV pull to buffer out for the tank that's sieging up.
Oh, no.
And he can afford to give a lot of these up.
Oh, no.
Armadawn dancing?
That's brave. The game isn't won yet, mate.
That's very brave. I don't know about that. I mean, he did kill obviously a ton of SCVs there. We went from 71 to 22.
Yeah, Marines are quite good at killing stuff.
Yeah,
and they demonstrated that aptly by killing 50 SCVs in about 3 seconds.
The turret going. Armadawn is going to end up breaking up into this, and just a little more defense, and I think PandaPrime obviously had this just on pure lockdown. But
if the macro had just been a tiny bit better for our pink Terran, then perhaps his brave cheese could have worked out.